I kind of don't really feel safe doing this. Wow, that is completely dark. I love this job. I'll give you a dog treat later, okay? Spud Dude potato brush. That is oddly satisfying, I will say that. Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm back with 9 items from Amazon, all of them under 10 bucks. It should be a pretty interesting collection of products, and I'll give my final ranking at the end. So let's get started with the first item. Let's take a look at the Be Cool active cooling patch. I think if you spell cool with a K, it makes it extra cool. I paid $6.99 for this for a 4 count. It currently has kind of a mediocre 3.8 star rating, but that doesn't mean it won't work though. Let's take a closer look here. Got some extensive instructions on the back here, that's good. There are 2 cooling patches per pouch here. Now they claim that all you have to do is prep, peel, and apply. I think prep means get all the hair off your neck. Attaches the back of your neck to get 4 hours of immediate cooling relief per sheet. No refrigeration necessary. Now the reviews are kind of mixed on this one, but quite a few people said it works, so it should be interesting to try it out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these patches actually work. Now they say before you start, you have to prep the neck by removing any loose hair or sweat. Well, I just got out of the shower, so that's not a problem. Pull my vacuum trim and make sure I get all the hair off. And let's see what we got here. It feels like it's filled with a gel solution of some sort. I looked over the instructions, the box packaging doesn't say what's the active ingredient is. It does feel kind of wet. I feel like there's some gel coming off of here right now, getting on my fingers. Do I really want that on my skin? I don't know. So next thing I'm supposed to do is peel the clear backing. There is the gel that's going to be against my skin for the next 4 hours. And it's kind of sticky, so here we go. Oh, it's cold feeling. It is cold feeling. Take a look at the thermal images and see how that looks. It feels cold. I'm not sure what it's showing, but it feels cold. So far it's starting to work. We got 4 hours to go though. This has been the hottest summer ever in Las Vegas, so I think it's the next thing I gotta do is go outside in the heat and see how it holds up there. Can it withstand the hottest Las Vegas summer ever? Let's go find out. All right, so I've had the patch on for about 90 minutes now, and the good news is that it's still working. Does feel nice and cool, so that's a good thing. I also thought I would pair it with my cheap Temu sunglasses and my cheap Temu arm sleeves for the ultimate and cheap cooling, and so far it's working pretty well. I will say one thing I've noticed is that as I'm turning my head, these edges are kind of coming off here. You know, because like when I'm driving, I gotta turn my head. I can't stay stiff. I mean, I guess I could. Feel like turn my head. Like, these are supposed to be comfortable, not make you feel like you're restricted. I am pretty happy with the cooling though. It kind of feels on par with some of the other cooling gadgets I've had around my neck, but this is the first disposable one I've had like that. And it's doing a pretty good job. And you didn't have to refrigerate it. So no preparation required, that's pretty good. I like this park, but I swear there's always someone with a weed whacker out there making noise. It's always loud noise out here. All right, so I have to admit, I was kind of skeptical going into this. I thought, you know, this is disposable. There's some unknown substance on there that's keeping you cool. Yeah, it probably isn't gonna work very well. It does work pretty well, I will say that. Maybe it's not perfect. The edges are kind of coming off. It is disposable, only one-time use. I'm almost 2 hours in, it's still working. And there was no preparation required, so I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit more of a fan than I thought I was gonna be. I still kind of prefer something that's reusable, but maybe in a pinch, having these on hand, if your other option didn't pan out, you forgot to charge your device, you forgot to put something in the freezer, it will work. So I don't know. I can see how some people would like this. But I've got about 2 more hours to go before I determine if it actually lasts 4 hours or not. So I'll check back with you in about 2 hours. All right, I'm back. And the good news is that it's been over 3 hours and it still feels cool. So I would say it's definitely a success in that respect. The bad news, I dropped by a friend's house while I was out, and my friend said it looked like I had 2 broken arms with casts on them and a feminine liner on my neck. And they're right. That's what it looks like. Now I can't get that out of my mind. Now that's what I'm thinking about when I put these on. I'm not sure I want to go in public anymore wearing these. I don't know. They do work though. So if you don't mind that aspect of it, I do think that for a disposable solution, these work pretty well. No residue on my neck, so I guess that's good. It does kind of look like that though, doesn't it? Oh well. All right, and this nondescript packaging is a peach pitter. And there it is with no packaging whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that. We got a little bit of a label here. This has got to be some of the smallest instructions I think I've ever seen. Look at my microscope out for this. This is the Chefin Peachster Peach Pitter Tool. I paid about $9 for this on Amazon, where it currently has about a 4-star rating. They claim that you can split and pit a peach in seconds. They say it keeps your fingers safe and it's ideal for food prep. Now, people on Amazon who like this, they praise the ability to pit a peach without mangling the rest of the fruit. Others said it did a good job with no mess. Some people online didn't like it, and some people said it doesn't work at all or it's too flimsy. We shall see about that. All right, I washed it off. I think we're ready to go. Now, I'm always complaining about small instructions, but these might be the smallest ever. So I read these over, and I also looked at the video on Amazon, and it seems pretty simple. You're supposed to put it perpendicular to the seam and basically rotate it. But man, are those small. But I digress. Here we go, the first test. All right, so the seam is this way. We're supposed to go perpendicular that way. They say it's safer. I kind of don't really feel safe doing this. Let me put it down this way. This might be safer this way. All right, well, it cut through it easily. That's good. Okay, so that's what we got. Now we're supposed to just rotate the peach. Oh, it came right off. It came right out. We have total success. We have success. Now you're supposed to be able to kind of rotate that for the pit, and that worked as well. Wow, it worked better than I thought it was going to. And let's try this way. Now we're supposed to be able to cut this in half. Oh, it kind of glides through it pretty easily. And the other side, a little bit more difficult. I still feel kind of unsafe doing that. Oh, there we go. There we go. It worked as advertised, so what else can I really say? But now this was a small white peach. Let me get a larger yellow peach here. Much bigger peach. This one's a little bit misshapen, so maybe that's good to test out as well. We have the seam here. Let's go the opposite direction. I definitely feel safer putting it down and pushing downward rather than holding my hand like they show in the Amazon video. That is interesting. Now rotating the peach takes a little bit of elbow grease here. Oh, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I just hit a traffic jam and it is not moving. I can feel it hitting the pit in there. Oh man, I had such good luck with the first one. This one I'm kind of stuck. Some people on Amazon said it only works with some types of peaches. Now I see why. I mean, I'm turning it, but it doesn't go any further. That's as far as I feel like I'm like a parking brake here, but it is not moving. I can just pull it apart. Is that cheating? I don't think that's cheating, is it? Let me go back in from the other direction. Maybe that'll do it. No, that will not do it. It's not coming apart. That didn't work either. Oh man, come on. This was not good. Now I can see why some people on Amazon said it worked great and some people said it didn't work at all. Maybe they had different kinds of peaches. I'm gonna say it's a failure. I was a failure on the yellow and a success on the white. I got more peaches here. Let me just fly through a couple more real quick here. Go back to a white one here. Twisting. And perfect, look at that. Pit. It works well on these. I got one more yellow. Am I the only one that can't think of peaches without thinking of that song from the 90s? And bonus points if you remember the name of the band, let me know in the comments. We are in place, let's turn it. I can't turn it. I cannot turn it. I mean, I can turn it to some extent, so it's gonna work on the white and not on the yellow, so I don't know, man. I wonder what happens if I have it cut started and go the other direction. Probably not supposed to do that, but let's try anyways. Oh man, I don't know. Someone also said it's better on very ripe peaches. These maybe aren't as ripe, but I don't know. My final conclusion is it worked on the white ones, not on the yellow. So it might depend on the type of peach you use, if it's gonna work for you. I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed, even though it looks like Pac-Man and does work on the white peaches. It's not 100%, so your mileage may vary. Let's take a look at this sleep mask. I paid $9.99 for a 3-pack, so that means they were $3.33 a piece. It currently has a 4.5 star rating among over 63,000 reviews on Amazon. Also an Amazon's choice. Nice presentation here, I must say. Take a look at one of these masks here. Now, they say that it's good for side sleepers. 100% blackout allows you to achieve total darkness. They say it's pain-free, easy to adjust, suitable for any sleep position, also great for travel, meditation, yoga, and more. They say it has a concave design, which you can see right there. They have some instructions here on how to use it, and they also say that it's best to wash it before use so it's softer and more comfortable. I'll wash it before using it tonight, but let's see how much of a blackout we really get. Here we go. All right, it's pretty dark, but I do see a little bit of light coming from below my nostrils. Not much, it's a very small amount. Maybe if I can adjust this here. They say to have the strap just above your ears. There's a tiny bit of light poking through there, but it's pretty close to total blackout. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. There's no light coming through. Wow, that is completely dark. There's no difference between opening and closing my eyes. And it doesn't feel too uncomfortable. A lot of them have like a metal clip or something, but this doesn't seem to have one. I just realized I'm still standing here talking with a sleep mask on. All right, so I'm gonna throw all 3 of these in the wash and see how they came out. And tonight, we'll head over to the bedroom and try it out. Here we go. It's not food, Bailey. It's not food. Bailey might want to join me again. But I digress. Let's put this one on now. All right, so I did wash it off like the instructions said. Now, it's funny, the instructions said you have to wash it by hand. You can't wring it out. The water has to be below 40 degrees and you have to air dry it. I did all that and it doesn't feel any different than before I washed it. They said it was gonna be softer, it's not softer. It does do a pretty good job of keeping the light out, although there are microscopic little rays of light coming up through my nose here. Maybe my nose just isn't right for these. Let's see how it is for the side sleeper aspect, because that's usually where these things falter for me. Oh yeah, I can sleep on my side. I don't feel anything. I think I might be able to pull this off. We shall see. So I guess there's only one last thing to do, right? Right, Bailey? It's time to hit the sack. I'm up. All right, so that wake up scene was recreated. I didn't sleep with the camera on me all night. But I've got kind of good news and bad news about this sleep mask. The good news is that it does work pretty well. It's quite comfortable and it's good for side sleepers. And I'm kind of sensitive to having masks on, and this one didn't really bother me. So, I mean, in general, I think it's really good. Now, the bad news is kind of weird bad news, and it's something I don't think I've ever said about a product before, but I think it actually works too well. I've used this now for 3 nights and 2 naps. And all the nights I slept with it, I usually wake up to the sunrise in the morning, but with this on, I overslept. And in the afternoon, if I take a nap, it's usually 10 or 15 minutes. With this on, it was an hour and a half. So it's almost too dark for me. For someone who sleeps based on the sunlight outside, this may not be a good solution. But if you like sleep masks, I don't think you can really go wrong for the price. All right, continuing with the low-end packaging here is a pizza cutter wheel. I paid $9.99 for this. Not a lot of ratings, but the small number of ratings give it about a 4.4 star rating. And there it is. Very interesting. Very interesting. I can see what they're going for here. Hopefully it works. Oh, there's a little clip here too. Little clip. Now they claim that you can slice and serve pizza with one tool. It includes a cutting wheel and a serving spatula with built-in clip. They say it's made of food-grade stainless steel. Dishwasher safe. They say it's a great gift idea. So the Amazon listing says you can supposedly use this to lift out an entire pizza from the oven right off the rack. I've got a small pizza in the oven on the rack right now, so we'll try that out. And whether it works or not, we're bringing pizza back over here. We're gonna try the cutter. We're gonna try this little clip here and see how it all works. Let's take a peek here. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're done. Let's give this a shot now. Will it work? Who knows? You're supposed to be able to slide underneath here. And the wheel is pushing the actual pizza around. I grabbed onto it. Oh, it's working. It's actually, I'm actually shocked. It's actually working. It's a little flimsy on the one side, but it does kind of work. I'm not sure I would really use this, but maybe in a pinch, maybe. All right, here we are out of the oven. This clip is pretty firm. It all kind of smashed the edge a little bit there, but it does work. I'm not sure it's good for picking up an entire pizza, but I guess in a pinch it kind of works. Now for the important part. Let's see how the wheel actually cuts. And yeah, not bad. Not a terror. I mean, I've had better pizza cutters. I've had worse. It's kind of a standard pizza cutter. Let's go across this way now. Let's try the spatula part now. Scooping up the pizza, trying to get my clip in there, but it's so long, it's actually pushing the other pieces out of the way. I can't use that clip. Maybe on a larger pizza, but not on this small one. I guess I got it. I kind of got it. There we go. Let's try another one. Oh, I got it. 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 Now there is a serrated edge here if you need to do any additional cutting as well. You can cut this way. What if I can cut an entire piece with that? Oh, that's pretty sharp. That is pretty sharp. It's kind of a good utility serrated edge there. I do think it works quite well. So I don't know. I think that it's kind of one of those things where it's like a jack of all trades, a master of none. Everything it's supposed to do, it does do. I'm not sure if it does any of them better than what they're supposed to replace, but it does work. This is a front load washer door prop. I paid $9.99 for this. Currently has a 4.6 star rating among over 3,900 reviews. Nice retail packaging there. And no instructions whatsoever. Maybe I don't need any instructions. They claim that it's a magnetic door prop with a super strong magnet, which this must be it right here. Easy to reposition and move, won't scratch the washer. Propping your washer door open is a thing. I do it myself. All right, now I use a towel, which seems to be fine. Maybe this will be better. We shall see. All right, here's a look at my illustrious washing machine. Now this is what I usually do. I prop this open because you definitely want to keep it propped open. You keep that closed, all the moisture in there, that's a breeding ground for mold and mildew. So I definitely keep it propped open with this, and that seems to work fine for me. But maybe you think that looks tacky, maybe you don't want to do that. That's what we have a gadget for. Let's just first see if this seam sticks. Oh wow, that sticks pretty good. That seems pretty solid. Now we have this problem, we gotta do something with this. So now I have to kind of flex this so it'll keep the door open without being too wide open. I think if I bend it this way, something like that maybe? I really like to make sure it clears this door here. Oh, it does not clear. What if I just smash it? Let me push this down a little bit. That's as much as I can do. Can I clear it? Oh, it clears it by about an inch. I don't know, I guess maybe that's a more elegant solution. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't think it works any better necessarily, but maybe it's nicer. And you can pop it right off when you're ready to use the machine. So I don't know, I think it works. Maybe it does work. Is it necessary? Maybe not, but it does work. These are reusable popsicle sleeves. I paid $6.29 for a 6-pack. Currently has a 4.7 star rating, and it's an Amazon's choice. Now they claim that it helps prevent drips and spills and keeps your kids' hands from getting cold. No more sticky hands. Designed to fit most ice pops, unique gift idea. Can be washed by hand or in the dishwasher. This should be easy and fun to try out. Let's head outside where it's nice and hot and try a couple of ice pops. All right, here we go. I've got 2 freezer pops right out of the freezer. I'm gonna place one in the sleeve here. And there you go. The other one, I'm holding in my hand. Not only will this be easy to test out, but I get to eat 2 ice pops while I'm waiting. I love this job. And Bailey wants some. All right, so let me just hold it in my hand. This has a nice, soft, durable feel to it. This one is cold. You want some ice pop? You want some, don't you? I'm sorry, Bailey, you can't have these. I know you want some. They do look good, don't they? I'll give you a dog treat later, okay? My first impression is that this hand is pretty cold and this hand is pretty not cold. I know a lot of kids don't like carrying these around because it makes your hand so cold. I was worried that you wouldn't be able to squeeze the bottom on this, but you can. You can squeeze the bottom just as easily as if you don't have it in your hand. So it seems to work pretty well. She's staring at me, just licking her chops like she wants some. I can't give it to you, but I'm sorry. I'm just gonna sit here and eat these 2 ice pops while Bailey stares at me the entire time. And when I'm done, I'll let you know what happened. I did have to take the one out of the sleeve once to adjust it, but otherwise it's still working fine. It's a tough day at work today. Tough day at work. I got my dog, I got my 2 freezer pops, I got my shade. What else do I need? All right, I finished both of them. I'm gonna go inside because I have a couple more observations. All right, so my real world test went pretty well. Let's try something a little bit more controlled here. I've got 2 more ice pops freshly out of the freezer. I'm gonna put one on the sleeve here. And I'm gonna have one just by itself. I'm gonna let this one sit for a few minutes just to see if I can get the outer sleeve cold at all. And then we'll compare with the digital thermometer and see how it looks. All right, taking a look at the pop with nothing. Seems like it's ranging anywhere the low 20s. I saw a 16 in there, nice and cold. Now the sleeve, mid 40s, anywhere from looks like mid 40s up to upper 50s, even a 60 in there. So it's certainly a big difference. 19 versus 43. And this also feels like it kind of disperses the cold a little bit more. So it doesn't really feel that cold. This feels cold, this doesn't. I'm not sure how necessary these are, but if your kids complain about cold hands while eating their ice pops, it definitely works. All right, this is an interesting one. This is a plastic bag holder. I paid $7.99 for this. Currently has a 4.3 star rating. They say you can use it as a wall mount tissue holder, grocery bag holder, pantry organizer, sock organizer. I mainly got it for a grocery bag holder, so we shall see about that. This is part of it. Very interesting. They claim that it's a storage solution for your plastic bags, which can also dispense them as well. Can be used for other things like socks or briefs, but its main use appears to be for plastic bags. They say it can be mounted with an adhesive or included screws. Looks like some assembly required, so I'll have to read these over and then get started. All right, let's take a look at this plastic bag organizer now. But now apparently you can use it for more than just plastic bags, but that seems to be the main selling point. But a lot of people use it for things like socks, underwear, and other unmentionables. Now there are two of them in here, but we're gonna put one together right now. So this is the pieces for one of them. The assembly looks pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna follow it real quick here. It says take the side, there's these tabs that click into place. All right, we have one side clicked into place. Now we're supposed to bend this over and click that one into place as well. And then I guess this is just the bottom here. That supposedly clicks too. All right, that's it. It was easy to assemble, but it is also much smaller than I was anticipating. It looks almost like a full-size trash can in the photos. It certainly is not. It's like maybe the size of a box of tissues when fully assembled. For this review, I'm not going to mount it, although I might find a place after the fact. But you can mount it with screws or tape. They give you two options for that. All right, so currently I put my bags in a very low-tech solution right here, but it does work for me. I just have them in one big Sprouts bag. That's the way I roll. But let's see what we got here. This might be a more beautiful, elegant solution. I'm just gonna kind of start stuffing bags in here, so many holes. By the way, I don't know why I have so many. I'm never going to use all these. I think some of the ones in the back are probably years old. But I've got 10 in here right now. It seems like it's pretty full. I mean, I could probably stuff more in there, but 10 seems to be a nice, comfortable number. So let's see if we just pull one out of here. You can pull them out of the top because there's no lid for this. This is just tops open. So you could definitely pull them out of the top easy enough. Or depending on where it's mounted, you could potentially pull it out of one of these holes as well. And that worked too. Either way. Pull out some out of the bottom here. All right, so it's certainly gonna work. I mean, it's pretty simple, and I didn't really think it wasn't gonna work, but let me try something else here. Let me throw this second one together real quick. I've got my second one assembled now. Let's try some socks in there and see how that goes. I've got some ankle socks here that I don't usually pair up, and I've got some other socks here that I usually do pair up. Let me just try throw them all in there. Ankle socks first. So they're in the bottom here. I can just pull them out of here one at a time. 1, 2, easy enough, it works. And I guess the ones that are paired up, I could just put in the top here maybe. What do you guys think? Maybe it'll work for socks too. So I've got two of them here. I've got my grocery bags in one, my socks in the other. It's a pretty simple design, but it's easy to install. There's multiple mounting options, under 10 bucks. So I'm kind of a fan of these. Let's take a look at the Spud Dude. Spud Dude potato brush. I paid $5.99. And it's kind of popular with a 4.4 star rating with nearly 5,000 ratings. Before I destroy the packaging, it does say top rack dishwasher safe. And they say it scrubs any potato clean. And there it is, the Spud Dude. Now they claim that you can scrub away dirt and contaminants with this character brush. This saves time for food preparation, preserves nutrients, and reduces food waste. They say it's best to use under running water. Good for any firm fruits or veggies, just rinse and clean and air dry. Although the packaging says it's top rack dishwasher safe. It has mostly positive ratings, but some people say it's too small or not very durable, and it is pretty small. I mean, it fits in the palm of my hand. That's quite small. I will say that there is kind of a smell to it. Not a pleasant one. It's kind of a chemical plastic smell to it. I have to wash this before I use it, but maybe it'll work. Let's find out. All right, so we have here is the Spud Dude. Now I let it sit in a cup of soapy water for like 2 or 3 days. It still doesn't smell very good. I got to go for it. But what I want to find out now is, does it work and does it hold up? Because some people on Amazon were saying these brushes didn't last very long. I'm going to do quite a few potatoes and see how it actually holds up. And once again, they say you're supposed to do it under running water. I'm not a fan of that, but we're doing it for this video. Potato number 1. I mean, initial observations is it does feel kind of nice in the hand. It's easy to hold, easy to grasp onto. Seems like it's stiff enough that it's getting inside these little cracks and crevices here, so I don't know, first impression is pretty good. It's actually doing a pretty good job of cleaning this off. So one nicely clean potato. So far it held up after one, but let's keep going. I mean, you can see how much of a difference it's making. It is certainly taking off that outer layer. One observation I will say after the second one is that it's starting to feel kind of small on my hand. I'm kind of wishing I had something a little more ergonomic, but let's just keep going. Yeah, my thumb is getting sore. My thumb is definitely feeling the brunt of this. Let me try to change how I hold it. If it was a little bit larger, I could hold it in my entire hand, but right now I'm having to use my fingers. All right, so after using it on a batch of potatoes, I got some good news and bad news. The good news is it's cute, and it does work, and the bristles held up pretty well this first round. The bad news to me is that its small size really kind of makes it not very ergonomic. My fingers are pretty sore after that. I feel like it was a little bit larger. I could hold it in my palm and not strain my fingers so much. So, you know, your mileage may vary. If you're only doing a couple potatoes, probably not so bad. Entire batch, maybe not. All right, in this high-grade packaging here is a 3-in-1 watermelon tool. I paid $9.98 for this. Currently has a 4.1 star rating. And I also saw a bunch of these online on Temu and elsewhere, so a lot of vendors are selling the same thing, so I'm kind of curious how this works. All right, and here is the unit itself. That is kind of a curious looking gadget. This is a 3-in-1 tool. It includes a fork, a cutter, and a popsicle cutter for the watermelon. They say it's made of stainless steel, it won't hurt your hands, ergonomic handle. I've used cutters like this, but the popsicle cutter is the one I'm pretty interested in. That's the one I've been seeing on social media, so we shall see how this works. I am looking forward to testing this one out. I was trying to figure out if I should cut it lengthwise or crosswise. I'm thinking for this popsicle tool, maybe crosswise would be the best way to go. Hopefully that's right, because once I cut it, I can't uncut it. Very lovely, very lovely. There's 3 tools here, and they come off here separately. And it feels a little bit unsafe trying to get this out of here, but I did it. Now this cutter is not really a unique design. I did the Slice Right like, what, 4 or 5 years ago. It's not a unique design, but it is somewhat popular out there. This is just a fork that was kind of thrown in there. And this is what I'm really interested in, which is the popsicle mold. I feel like for this cutter, I should have cut it lengthwise, but for this one, it seems better crosswise. So I'm more interested in this one, so we went crosswise. I'm doing the mold first. That's the one I'm most interested in. I'm doing that one first. All right, so here we go. It wasn't perfectly even, but I don't think that really matters. All we're really supposed to do is just press this in the watermelon, and it should be a popsicle looking treat when we're done. Let's see. Oh, it worked. It even has its own built-in handle. I do like that. It's kind of cool, actually. You can't really get a lot out of this, but I'll do my best to get as many as I can. Maybe I should have gone lengthwise on this one. That is oddly satisfying, I will say that. Now there's kind of a bit of waste here because you really can't do a lot with this left over here. Can't make one out of that, so I don't know. Maybe I could try to squeeze a few out this way. I just fell apart. It fell apart. There's kind of a lot of waste. I guess you can just cut that into chunks if you want. But whoever gets these will be happy because they are very cool looking. Let me eat one of these. Having that handle there is very satisfying. What kind of watermelon do you prefer? Do you prefer those with seeds, kind of old school, or do you want the newfangled seedless models? All right, next up we have this tool, which is kind of like the Slice Right I reviewed like 5 years ago. It's a pretty simple concept. All you have to do is just stick this part into the watermelon and glide it across. Just like that, very simple. Oh, it cuts pretty well. Wow, that's actually, I would say I use the Slice Right. This is better. This is much sharper. Then you can go the opposite way to get cubes out of here. They're already jumping out before I'm even done. All right, this is very sharp. I've done a few of these in the past that weren't so sharp. But now what you're supposed to be able to do is use your fork and grab some right out of there. Well, that's good. I guess technically you're supposed to dump all these chunks into a container and then use the fork. I'm cutting out the middleman. I'm going right out of the watermelon itself. Well, as far as I can tell, all three of these did do what they're supposed to do. I'm not sure this is going to be any better than a knife, but it does work. There's nothing really special about this fork. Now, the popsicle mold is not something you could really do as easily with a knife, and it does have an aesthetic value to it. So I do think that if you have kids, this might be something to add to your arsenal if you're cutting up watermelon, because there is something kind of oddly satisfying about it. I would say I had kind of low expectations going into this one, but it worked better than I thought it was going to. All right, so in the end, I think for the most part, most of these are pretty good. I was trying to think of how I'm gonna rank these. What I came up with was a ranking of the likelihood in which I think I'll use these. The reason I picked the grocery bag dispenser as number one is because that's something I think I'm gonna use. I use grocery bags all the time. I tested a dispenser a while back and I found that quite useful, so I think this one might actually come in handy. Now, the pizza cutter I put at the bottom, not because it's a bad product, because I don't think it's gonna really replace anything I already have here. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.